Commander Zixith flexed his chitinous claws as he reviewed the intelligence reports one final time. Earth, a small blue-green planet in an unremarkable system, rich in rare minerals, and what the Galactic Coalition had dubbed compatible atmospheric conditions. The native species, humans, had barely achieved interplanetary travel. It would be a simple extraction operation. "Deploy the harvesting fleets," he ordered, his translator converting his clicks and hisses into standard galactic. "Begin with the northern continent. Intelligence suggests minimal resistance from the primitive inhabitants." The Kethtar invasion force descended through Earth's atmosphere like metallic rain. Thousands of harvesting drones and warrior-class ships pierced the cloud layer, their energy shields shimmering against what their sensors registered as unusually turbulent atmospheric conditions. That should have been their first warning. Captain Sarah Chen watched the alien ships through the reinforced windows of NORAD's command center as an unexpected spring blizzard battered the Colorado mountains. "Well," she muttered, pulling her jacket tighter, "they picked a hell of a day to invade." The first Kethtar ground units landed in what their maps indicated was optimal terrain, the Great Plains of North America. Commander Zixith himself led the initial scouting party, confident in his species' superior environmental adaptation systems. The Kethtar had conquered 17 worlds across 4 systems. How different could this backwater planet be? The answer came within the first hour. Private Velkar, fresh from the temperate gardens of Keth Prime, stumbled as his environmental suit's cooling systems went into overdrive. The temperature readings made no sense. The star was shining, yet the atmospheric conditions were somehow both scorching and frigid simultaneously. His squad leader, Sergeant Mordak, watched in growing alarm as 3 of his soldiers collapsed from what their medical scanners termed environmental shock. "Commander," Mordak's voice crackled through the communication array, "we're experiencing unprecedented atmospheric aggression. Request immediate medical evacuation for half my unit." Zixith's mandibles clicked in irritation. "Clarify atmospheric aggression, Sergeant." "Sir, the local weather patterns appear to be hostile. We've documented temperature fluctuations of over 40 degrees in the span of minutes, wind speeds that exceed our structural tolerances, and precipitation that shifts between liquid and solid states without warning." From orbit, Zixith observed the weather satellite data with growing unease. Massive spiral formations, what humans called hurricanes, dominated entire ocean basins. Electrical storms raged across continents with an intensity that could power small cities. The northern regions were locked in ice, while the equatorial zones blazed with temperatures that approached industrial furnace levels. How do the natives survive in these conditions? He wondered aloud. His science officer, Dr. Nexara, pulled up biological data on the human species. "Commander, their baseline physiology is remarkable. They appear to have evolved not just to survive but to thrive in multiple extreme environments simultaneously. Look at these metabolic readings. They can function in temperature ranges that would kill most Galactic Coalition species." But the weather was only the beginning of Earth's hostility. The second wave of Kethtar forces attempted a landing in what appeared to be a peaceful green zone, the Amazon rainforest. Within hours, their communication went dark. The rescue mission found the expedition's remains being systematically dissolved by carnivorous plant life, while the survivors raved about trees that eat metal and air thick enough to drown in. Dr. Elena Vasquez, a xenobiologist monitoring the situation from her research station in Brazil, couldn't help but laugh as she watched the alien soldiers flee from a relatively harmless army ant colony. They should try visiting during spider migration season, she told her colleague over radio. The third attempt targeted Australia. This proved to be the Kethtar's greatest mistake. Within 6 hours, Commander Zixith received a priority transmission from Colonel Marzeth, the expedition leader, requesting immediate planetary evacuation. Repeat, requesting immediate evacuation. The landmass appears to be populated entirely by organisms specifically evolved to kill anything that moves. The colonel's report detailed encounters with creatures that defied biological logic, serpents whose venom could dissolve their armor, insects that delivered electrical discharges, marine life that actively hunted land-based targets, and mammals that appeared cute but possessed claws capable of disemboweling a Kethtar warrior in seconds. "Sir," Marzeth's voice was barely controlled panic, "I've lost 12 soldiers to something the local database calls a drop bear. It wasn't even a real species. The humans invented fictional predators because their actual predators weren't. Terrifying enough." The final straw came when the Kethtar encountered their first human resistance. A small group of farmers in rural Montana, armed with what the aliens' databases classified as primitive kinetic projectile weapons, had somehow managed to down 3 scout ships. When the main force arrived to investigate, they found the humans had not only reverse-engineered the alien technology overnight, but had somehow improved upon it. Zixith stared at the tactical display in disbelief. "Explain to me how a species that hasn't achieved faster-than-light travel managed to enhance our quantum targeting systems." "Sir," his intelligence officer reported, voice trembling, "it appears they've been practicing warfare on each other for their entire recorded history, in their most extreme environments, against their most dangerous predators, while developing increasingly sophisticated methods of survival and combat." The humans called it Tuesday. As reports flooded in from around the globe, Kethtar forces, defeated by everything from Himalayan weather conditions to Saharan sandstorms, from Antarctic exposure to Yellowstone's geothermal activity, Commander Zixith finally understood the magnitude of their error. Earth wasn't just inhabited by humans. Earth had forged the humans into something unprecedented in galactic history, a species that considered extreme environmental hostility to be normal background conditions. They didn't just survive on a death world, they had become the death world's apex predators. "Initiate full retreat," Zixith ordered, his voice hollow with defeat. "Update the Galactic Coalition databases. Earth is to be classified as a Level 10 quarantine zone. Reason: inhabited by species that has weaponized their own planetary extinction events." As the Kethtar fleet limped away from Earth's solar system, Sarah Chen watched their departure. From her Montana ranch, a cup of coffee steaming in the sub-zero morning air, she'd lived through hurricanes in Florida, wildfires in California, tornadoes in Oklahoma, and blizzards in Alaska, all in the same year. She took a sip of her coffee and smiled. Amateurs. Behind her, a grizzly bear wandered past her back porch, completely ignoring both the human and the smoking wreckage of an alien scout ship that had learned the hard way about Earth's local wildlife. On Keth Prime, the official invasion report would eventually become required reading at the Military Academy. Its final line became legendary throughout the Galactic Coalition. "Humans don't live on a death world. They are the reason it's a death world." The universe took note, and gave Earth a very wide berth indeed.